We must continue to plan ahead, do our sums carefully, and be upfront with Singaporeans on the cost of various proposals. This approach of looking and planning ahead is a hallmark of our fiscal policy. It ensures that we are able to meet our collective aspirations and seize every opportunity that comes our way. Perhaps the opposition takes a different view of fiscal management. Certainly, they want the government to use more of the reserves for current spending. They suggest different ways of doing so, using revenue from land sales, waiving land costs for HDB flats, increasing the percentage of the NIR that can be spent, and so on. But in the end, they all come down to the same thing, which is to use more of the reserves today. What will this mean? Basically, we will end up with less for ourselves in the future, and we will also leave less behind for our children and the next generation. Eventually, the NIRC will shrink as a percentage of GDP, the funding gap will increase, and our children will pay more in taxes. In fact, this is what many governments in advanced economies are faced with. Their debts are rising, the deficits are rising, their debts are rising, and their fiscal systems are at risk of breaking. Many of them have some version of an independent budget office. It has not helped at all. Basically, no political party in these countries are prepared to dish out the hard truths. So their policy debates are dominated by what some commentators call fiscal fantasies. What are some of these fantasies? They include far too optimistic forecasting assumptions, the idea that all the funds can be raised from the rich with close to zero consequences for the rest of the population, or they kick the fiscal can down the road indefinitely, just continue to spend and leave it to their children or to those not yet born to solve the problems. Let's not indulge in fantasy thinking, not in this house, not in Singapore. Having the resources to pursue a strong economy and a strong society and to achieve good outcomes is not a fairy tale. This is very much our Singapore reality, but it requires us to focus on prudence, fairness, and sustainability.